Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sarah Elrod and I post homemaking, homeschooling, and homesteading content. I'm also a stay-at-home mom and a ranch wife here in rural Nevada. So because we are officially in December now, which is so crazy, which means I give birth next month, which is even crazier. Third pregnancy has flown by, let me tell you. But nonetheless, we're in December and I want to kick off this month with some videos that are going to help my fellow parents out there. So in this video, we are going to be talking about the elf on the shelf. And let me first just say, I always told myself that I would never be the person to do the elf thing. Like before having kids, I was like, I will not do the elf thing. I will not be the person that has the elf. I did not grow up with the elf. That was like a new concept to me. Like I never even knew it was a thing until several years before I had children. And then that's when I became aware of it. And then now I have kids and things change and your mind changes and you decide you want to do all the things and give them all the experiences. So here we are. So today I'm going to share some super easy and also toddler friendly elf on the shelf ideas because I have toddlers. I don't have older kids. So if you're looking for like older kid ideas, maybe try to find a different video because this is going to definitely be more for the younger kids. These are going to be very simple ideas and things that you can do because I know how stressful that this can be. And so these are things that you can just pull off with stuff you probably already have in your home. You don't have to do anything extravagant and it's still going to create magic and giggles all December long. So without further ado, let's get on into the video. Okay, so let's start with the classics. These are the easy go-tos that when it's 10 o'clock at night and you're like, oh shoot, we forgot to move the elf, you can just quickly pull something together and use one of these ideas. This is where you want to think super simple, like just putting the elf sitting on the Christmas tree or reading a book to the stuffed animals or hiding in a stocking, taking a bubble bath in a pile of marshmallows or something. Again, we're talking about toddlers, so like 3-year-olds or younger potentially. So they really don't need a lot to get excited over it. They're just going to be amazed that the elf even moved at all. And then I do have some just listed out examples for each section that I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to read off of those. That's why I'm looking right here. Also, my kids are playing outside this window right here. So I kind of glance over there to check on them too. But so again, the classic easy setups could be sitting on the Christmas tree holding an ornament or reading a Christmas book to stuffed animals or the elf hiding in a stocking, the elf peeking out of the cookie jar, the elf hanging from the ceiling fan, elf riding a toy car or a tractor, the elf tangled up in Christmas lights, elf sitting on the counter with a spoon and the sugar jar, elf fishing in the sink with a candy cane pole, or the elf taking a bubble bath in a bowl of marshmallows. All very simple, very easy to do ideas that you can just typically throw together really quickly in just a few minutes, and they're a lot of fun. I also don't know if I mentioned this in the beginning. I don't think I did, but I have a blog post that's going to have all of these ideas, like 50 ideas listed out in written form. So if you're somebody that wants to actually have the list written out in front of you, I will have that blog post linked down in the description as well. Okay, so the next category of ideas, as you might call it, is going to be in the kitchen. So there's lots of fun things that you can do with the elf inside the kitchen, lots of silly, messy, kind of fun things. Because typically kids aren't allowed to rummage through their parents' kitchen. So if the elf does it in the middle of the night, a lot of kids think that that's really funny. So you could have your elf make a snowflower angel on the counter, or maybe he baked cookies, or he took a sip of juice or something from the fridge. You could have your elf make breakfast for the kids in the morning with a cute note by your toaster or your oven or whatever. Again, these are all very simple. They take less than 5 minutes to set up and they're so fun and magical. Some more ideas. Again, elf making cookies, elf making snow angels in flour, elf eating cereal with a spoon, elf sitting in the fridge with a juice box, elf making hot cocoa for the kids, elf hiding in the fruit basket, elf baking with Play-Doh ingredients or like Play Kitchen ingredients, the elf sipping whipped cream from the can, the elf sitting in a measuring cup like a hot tub, the elf leaving a note of like, I made breakfast, check the fridge, and maybe it's like a fun breakfast that they don't like normally get, like cinnamon rolls or something, like something just a little extra special. Okay, section 3 is going to be the elf with toys or stuffed animals. So toddlers love when the elf joins in on the fun and plays with their toys. It just makes it funny and silly and special for them. And so setting up your elf having like a tea party with stuffed animals, or sliding down a track, or, you know, building blocks or something can be really fun for them to wake up and see that. And it might also introduce them into play, and then they'll want to independently play in the morning and you can drink your coffee. So again, ideas would be elf having a tea party, elf building a block tower, elf sliding down a track, coloring with crayons, maybe drawing a funny picture, elf hiding in a dollhouse, riding a toy dinosaur or a toy horse, elf napping under a toy blanket, elf and friends watching a Christmas movie. You could set up popcorn and like the whole thing, like a whole little like mini movie theater maybe. Elf building with blocks or magnetiles or something. The elf holding a toy school and sitting around students like teaching something, especially if you homeschool. I think that would be really cute. Next one is creative and mess-free ideas. So if you're not into the super messy elf on the shelf ideas, then this is going to be the category for you. You can have your elf do things like make paper snowflakes or some sort of craft that's easy to clean up. You could wrap your elf up in toilet paper like a snowman, or leave a coloring page out for your toddler, maybe with a box of crayons, and the elf's like, draw a picture with me. You could even do something as fun as like setting up fun music and having your elf have like a little sign that says like dance party. That way, like first thing in the morning, your toddler can come in and just start getting active right away and having a dance party with the elf. So some examples for this category are elf painting. I'd use washable paint or like fake paint if you want to really avoid a mess. Making paper snowflakes wrapped up in toilet paper, peeking out from behind a photo frame, making a Christmas countdown paper chain would be a cute idea, leaving a coloring page out for your toddler to do, starting a dance party, have stickers everywhere or like stickers for your child to find, the elf writing I love you in like magnetic letters on the dishwasher or fridge or wherever you have them, if you have that, or the elf setting up like a scavenger hunt that's super simple. I love this idea because it kind of just like immediately gets the kids active. It does take a little more planning the night before because you'd have to like put like the next note in each spot or whatever, but I think that this would be such a good way to like get your child moving and just like thinking, and just gives them an activity first thing in the morning for them to start doing, which is always really nice. So just like a simple little scavenger hunt of like, go look under your bed, and then they look under their bed, and then there's like a next note or whatever, and then at the very end, after running through all the rooms of the house, they get a little treat or something. If it's like a winter wonderland where you live and it's very chilly weather, or you get snow, or even if you don't, you can still make some outdoor ideas happen that can be really fun. So you could have the elf sitting by the window watching the snow, or you could build a mini snowman out of like cotton balls. That could also lead into a sensory activity in the morning for your kids. I really like those kinds of elf things where the elf basically presents an activity for the kid to do in the morning. So that way it's like, instead of like a morning basket, it's like first thing in the morning, here's what the elf wants you to do. And usually when I do it that way, my kids are like way more wanting to do it when it's like the elf's idea. Some examples would be the elf wearing a tiny scarf, sitting by the window, watching for snow or the weather or the rain, whatever your climate is. The elf hiding in your toddler's winter boots. The elf sledding down like a banister or a piece of cardboard or something in your house somewhere. The elf could be ice skating on a mirror or a cookie sheet with paper skates. If the elf is building something, you could have him build like a mini snowman or something like that. Like I said, out of cotton balls or anything you have, really. You could also take like white paper, just like any kind of white paper, and like crumple it up and make snowballs, and then have like maybe like a snowball fight with your elf. Be kind of fun. And the last section or category of ideas I have is for interactive and kindness ideas. And I love the idea of having the elf create kindness or teach your child something, like teach your child how to be kind and generous, especially in this season. I mean, all year long, obviously we want to teach our children how to do these sorts of things, but and how to behave kind and treat people nicely and stuff. But I think obviously that gets amplified during the holidays, and the elf can be a fun way to incorporate some of those ideas. So this could be having your elf bring a note that's encouraging to your child to do something sweet or kind, like make cookies for a friend or a neighbor. They could bring a Christmas book or even a craft or a note that says, let's decorate the tree together. Help that way. Mom doesn't have to do it by herself. Like, let's help mom decorate the tree. On Christmas Eve, you could have, like, when your elf is saying goodbye, it could be some sort of keepsake ornament for your child to keep for the next year, which I think is a fun way to kind of end this season. And it just, again, it's not like necessarily a super, like, extended outreach, generous idea necessarily, but it does just kind of show, like, the elf was kind, because I know a lot of elves are supposed to be like mischievous and things like that. And so if you're not into the mischievous elf and you don't want a naughty elf and you want maybe just like a kind, sweet elf, I think things like that would be really cute. And then I just want to wrap this up with a few just quick little tips for parents, especially if this is your first time doing the elf. I know it can be maybe intimidating, or maybe you're like me. Last year was my first real year of doing the elf thing, and I way over committed and overshot, and I like planned out, like I had like a whole calendar of like, this is what the elf is going to do each day. And some of them were simple and some of them were like very extravagant ideas. And I like was aware enough to know that like I needed to break up the extravagant ones because I wasn't going to want to do it every day. But I did have them like assigned to certain days, which didn't make sense really, because you just never know what a day is going to bring for you. And I planned it out like a month in advance. So by the time I actually got to December, it'd be like a day would pull up and I'm like, well, I don't have time to do that. Like there's too many components I have to make in advance to make that idea happen. And so this year I am going to keep it a little more simple and try not to do, even if I have to like set something up, it's going to be just like a simple setup, not something that I have to like spend hours crafting an idea for, especially because my kids are very young. My daughter probably does not understand what is happening, and my son is just at the age where he like maybe will start to understand it. So I think overall the key to the elf and feeling successful with the elf and feeling like the elf doesn't have to be so overwhelming and exhausting. I know a lot of parents get annoyed by the idea of the elf. If you want to enjoy the elf, keep things simple, keep things fun and light. I think doing things like having the elf show kindness versus the super mischievous stuff, even if the mischievous stuff doesn't bother you necessarily, I feel like it can still be more work to make the elf do something mischievous. Whereas like doing something kind, usually there's less components involved, at least from what I can think of. And then also just remember, like, this does not have to be done perfectly, especially if you have toddlers, right? Like, you have little kids. They don't really understand it anyway. It's more for you than it is for them. So enjoy the process, have fun, know that the kids are going to think it's magical no matter what you do. Even if the only thing you do is move the elf from one spot to another, I promise you they will think that's the greatest thing ever. So I hope these ideas take a little bit of stress off your plate this season, that allow you to just enjoy the Christmas, leading up to Christmas so much more this year. Again, I know there's so many things going on, so hopefully this helps just a little bit in that area. If you did find this video helpful or you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel because it really does help. I am attempting to do Vlogmas this year. We will see if I can actually commit to it. So that's posting every day until Christmas, which is gonna be a lot because sometimes I can't even get one video up a week, and now we're trying to do one video a day, which is cray. But here we go. But yeah, I want our channel to, I have so many big plans for our channel in the new year, and I want like to just try to get it like a good boost. And I love the holidays, and I feel like I have so many things I want to talk about for the holidays. So Vlogmas seemed like a good idea to do it, and I'm hoping that like posting all the content will give it a nice little boost for the new year. So we'll see. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Again, like this video and leave a comment down below. Let's make the comment section like another resource of ideas. Again, like make sure you check out the blog post because I'll have all the things that I mentioned written down. But if you're somebody that feels like you did some really fun or creative ideas, or you've seen some fun creative ideas, drop them down in the comments below so that other people can like read through them and use the comment section as like an idea capsule as well. I think that'd be really cool. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.